One day, you might see me in a whole new way. One day, but still I see that I'm the same OJ. One day, you might.
Yo, what up, YouTube? Welcome to Sinn-Take, man. My name is Sin, coming back with another one, man. I just want to tell y'all something real quick, man. Listen, man, one of the scariest things about relapse that, put you in such a deep depression, you know what I mean, is the fact that you come to realization that you can't trust yourself. You know what I mean? That's one of the things that got me. That's what put me in the hole. That's what put me in that deep funk where I felt like I was just depressed and I didn't have any hope. You know what I mean? I felt like I didn't have any hope because I realized that I couldn't trust myself. It's one thing to not trust other people. You know what I mean? That's easy. It's like, okay, I don't trust that motherfucker. But when you look at yourself and then you realize that you can't trust yourself, where you doing something that you have no control over, when you lose that control and you start to really realize, you like, no way. You know what I mean? And this coming from somebody that's been addicted to drugs and alcohol. I haven't relapsed once after I made that decision that I wasn't doing it anymore. And this is after years and years and years of being addicted, you know what I mean, of being an addict. But once I made that decision, I was done. But when I tried to stop watching porn and fapping, 4 relapses, 0 drugs and alcohol, 4 pornography and fapping. You know what I'm saying? And that's what put me in that funk, because it's like, I lost all hope. I'm like, I kind of laugh. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, it's porn. I could do this. Not so easy. And then that shit bopped me right upside my damn head. Like, no, nigga, this is serious. That's when I realized how serious it was. And it was like, damn, if something I felt this small I couldn't conquer, it was like, what other things that I think is small that I would not have any control over? You know what I'm saying? Because this is one thing, when it comes to pornography, this is something that we didn't even think we had a problem with. So God forbid something happen where you get addicted to something that you thought was nothing and it really spiraled out of control as well. I thought I didn't beat the serious shit, and I did. Drugs and alcohol kill every year. Drugs and alcohol kill every year, every day. Fuck every year. Every day somebody died from drug and alcohol abuse. You know what I'm saying? So I really underestimated this journey, and it was just like, damn, to even step into it thinking like, okay, this is, I got this. And then when I was relapsing like that, man, it just, like I said, man, it's just like, man, that feeling of not being able to trust yourself, it humbles you real fast. You know what I mean? It lets you know that you don't have the will like you thought. When they say, Lord, take the wheel, yeah, that's real. Because I had to look up and ask the Lord, can he please take the wheel and help me out with this? You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have that control like I thought. And if you don't have your control with this whole pornography, sex thing, then bro, you truly don't know how far you will go. You know what I mean? Yeah, we all have our, we know how far, but it's just like, damn, it's something about not being able to trust yourself and being in a situation when it comes to something like this. It make you start to question yourself. You know what I'm saying? It will make you question, even though you wouldn't do certain things, it still will make you question that. Your mind starts spinning when you realize that you don't have the control that you thought you did. You know what I mean? Then you looking in the mirror, it's like, man, I thought that one person that I could trust was myself. And then I had to reflect, like, hold up now. You know what I mean? You've been doing yourself dirty for a long time. You was doing yourself dirty for a long time where you didn't have respect for yourself. That's why you was drinking and doing drugs and in relationships with people that you shouldn't even been in with, because you didn't have respect, the lack of respect that you have for you. So it was all chain linked. You know what I mean? It was all chain linked. That trust that I even thought for myself, it came into question like, damn, and then it all started hitting me, bro. You know, it's like, damn, bro, I never valued myself. I never respected myself. I could never trust myself. Look how many times over and over again I was tipping that bottle. I was snorting that coke. You know what I mean? And into these bad relationships. You know what I mean? Look at that. Look at the things you was doing in these relationships, bro. You know, you never had respect for yourself like you thought you did. So it's like all of these things was hitting me at once, you know, but I allowed myself to feel that, and it just made me stronger. It made me stronger. It made me want to start trusting in myself. And then it just wasn't me just telling me that I got to trust myself. I had to put in the work to gain that trust back. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when you cheat on your girlfriend, but you want your girl back. You don't want to lose that person. Or when you do somebody dirty that you really got genuine care for, and then you have to gain that trust back. Y'all got to realize that you got to gain that trust back with yourself. You don't feel sorry for yourself. You got to learn to trust yourself and gain that shit back, because you lose it when you relapse. You lose it when you do things in life that you know was wrong. You know what I'm saying? You lose it when you don't have control over a situation or control over yourself, and you allow yourself to be taken to an area where you know you shouldn't be, where you know that's out of your character. When you allow people, things, or substances to take you out of your character, take you out your body, then guess what? Then you realize like, man, yo, I got work to do. Because that is scary, bro. That's one of the scariest things about relapse. It's one of the scariest things about not having control of something, because you don't know what you're going to crash into. You don't know what's to come. You don't know what you will do. You don't know how it's going to end up or what situation you're going to put yourself in, because you ain't got the wheel like you thought. You know what I'm saying? And that's some scary ass shit. I don't care what you say. It's like being a passenger in the seat of your own life. You a passenger in the seat of your own life. And it's like, what the fuck? That person that's driving the whip, driving crazy than a motherfucker. You don't know where y'all going. You don't know your destination. You don't know if you gonna die. You don't know what the fuck. You know what I'm saying? So now it's time for you to get in that driver's seat and start to trust yourself. Learn to trust yourself, bro. You got to do the things that's going to gain that, though. You know what I mean? No more are we sitting in the passenger seat of our own whip, letting substance drive, letting pornography drive, letting haters and badass friends and people that you don't need to be around drive, bad relationships drive. You know what I mean? You can't let that shit happen no more. You can't let that. You gotta take your wheel, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta gain control of your life, man. And you gotta put in that work to gain your trust back, man. Because I had to have a reflection, man. I had to look back and realize that I never trusted myself. I was never to be trusted. You know what I mean? You come to realization that you was never to be trusted. Look what you did to yourself, nigga. And you know what I mean? You got motherfuckers like, I'm supposed to trust you? No. You know what I'm saying? No. You know what I mean? So you have to gain that trust back within yourself, man. And then the things will start to fall in line, man. But until you do that, things gonna always be, you know, just chaotic in your life. That's why we landed here, man, because we needed to take the wheel in our own life, man. Nothing scarier than realizing that you can't trust yourself, bro. Nothing scarier is living in this life, this crazy world, and not having control of something. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to share that with y'all, man. This shit is real, bro. This shit is really real out here. It's real out here. Not just with one thing, man. It's not just porn. You need to gain control of your life in general, my nigga. Because there's gonna be a lot of things that's trying to control your mind, body, and your soul. You know, it's a lot of dark entities out there, a lot of dark spirits, a lot of dark energy that's gonna take over your soul. If they see an empty vessel, then what you expect to jump in it? You know what I mean? It's more bad, it's more negative out here than it is positive right now. So if you got an empty vessel, you know what I mean? That's like having a car running. That's like having a BMW that's just running, got the keys in it, it's running, the door open, nobody in it. You know what I mean? So what you think? A carjacker gonna jump in that bitch. A lot of us been carjacked for years, mentally, spiritually, socially. You know what I mean? So it's time to wake the fuck up, all right? And that's my word, man. My name J-Sin, the Sinn-Take. Holla at y'all later, man. Peace.
First I'ma get on my grind, then second stop wasting my time on shit less important. If ain't about money, I'm going the other direction. And third, I'ma do what I gotta to eat. Fourth, I'ma sew up the streets. Fifth, I'ma never quit dropping this heat. So as long as I'm breathing, you better get used to me. Sixth, I'ma get on